Megmania hits Melbourne. Pregnant Duchess and Harry take to the beach, in their coats, and catch an iconic tram after greeting thousands of adoring fans, and even have a go at Aussie rules. Harry and Meghan Mania hit Melbourne today with thousands more people turning out to see the royal couple than in Sydney as their Australian tour continues. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex were treated to an authentic Aussie day with a lunch of delicacies including char-grilled kangaroo and barramundi before a trip on the city's famous tram to the beach. But in typical British style they kept their coats and shoes on while walking hand in hand across the sand of South Melbourne Beach where they met crowds of children with hugs and high fives before speaking to lifeguards. The royal couple have taken Australia by storm as they started their historic first international tour together, also taking in New Zealand, Fiji and Tonga over the next 16 days. Hours after arriving they announced they are having a royal baby next year, having told the Queen and other royals at Princess Eugenie's Windsor Castle wedding last Friday. Crowds waiting to see Harry and Meghan are growing every day, already far larger than those seen in Sydney 2 days ago, with some in Melbourne reserving their spot as early as 4 a.m. At their first engagement today they were received at Government House for a reception where they played games with young people inside before Meghan tried Aussie rules in the garden. Lunch followed at Fitzroy's Charcoal Lane, which offers Aboriginal youths employment, which would have thrilled foodie Meghan. A visit to Albert Park Primary School followed where young students then took them by tram to South Melbourne Beach for a plastic clean-up. The couple have asked to take part in some of Australia's environmental activities, especially related to reducing plastic use, and Meghan told the children, "It's amazing what you guys are doing," while Harry questioned whether people really need to use straws at all, and if they do, to use bamboo or metal straws. Meghan and Harry are carrying out 76 engagements in 16 days on their first international royal tour of Australasia and the South Pacific. Yesterday Meghan, 37, admitted that she is a bit tired and running on adrenaline but loving her new life. The couple have sparked a whirlwind by announcing they are having their first child just hours after touching down in Sydney, and huge crowds are turning out to see them, some of whom arrive in the middle of the night. Many were carrying flowers and signs including 2 witty notices reading, "Worth the detention," and saying they had skipped work to be there. One little girl even gave Meghan the tiara she was wearing, and a teenager who received a hug from Prince Harry just burst into tears during a walkabout ahead of the reception at Government House in Melbourne. After a school visit the couple headed to Melbourne's famous South Beach. Meghan, who had changed into a Navy Club Moncow dress and, appropriately, vegan Rothy's shoes made from recycled water bottles, from her navy blue heels for black flats and a matching dress, caught one of Melbourne's iconic trams with Harry. They visited South Melbourne Beach, where they joined volunteers and schoolchildren from the local beach patrol program, who keep the local beaches litter-free and reduce the impact on the marine environment. The youngsters attend nearby Albert Park Primary and Albert Park College. The children showed them bags full of plastic cups, bottles and straws they had collected, which are then analyzed for environmental impact. Speaking to Albert Park College student, Ashley Soja, 14, Harry said, "There is literally plastic everywhere. And, you know, microplastics are a real problem, especially the microplastics from fast fashion. Did you know that's one of the biggest culprits?" Bonnie Shepherd, 15, another Albert Park College student, said, "Meghan was really interested in the effect of microplastics. I told her that there are more microplastics in the ocean than stars in the Milky Way, which she was surprised by." "It's amazing what you guys are doing," said Meghan. "Well done. You're doing a really great job. Keep it up." After a school visit the couple headed to Melbourne's famous South Beach. Carlo Foster, 12, an Albert Park Primary pupil, showed Harry and Meghan bags full of plastic cups, beakers and bottles he has collected. Harry said, "Another worrying thing I'm hearing is some people trying to claim things like these are actually habitats for fish and turtles. Don't ever let anyone convince you of that." The couple also spoke to Melizanne Box, 14, from Albert Park College, who had a bag filled with plastic straws. She said, "Harry told us to spread the message about whether people really need to use straws at all, and if they do, to use bamboo or metal straws." Harry and Meghan then did a mini walkabout, greeting dozens of excited schoolchildren who had lined up on the beach to meet them. Among them was Amelia Markham, 12, From St. Kilda Primary School, I gave Meghan flowers, a picture of her and Harry I'd drawn for them and some t-shirts for the baby. She said she loved them. Before leaving the beach, the couple strolled hand in hand down to the shoreline, to meet a group of lifeguards from Australia. Surf lifeguards. Sebastian Top, 20, a lifeguard for more than 4 years, asked Meghan, "Are you going to swim today?" "Maybe not today," she laughed. Harry pointed to a group of around 30 people who had waded into the sea from the beach to get a better view of them. "If we try and swim, I think they might be a bit of a hazard." Showing they're not afraid to get their hands dirty, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will help local schoolchildren pick up litter from South Melbourne Beach. Changing into a pair of Rothy's flats and a matching black Mighalina dress, Meghan and her husband made their way onto Melbourne's iconic mode of transport, along with student leaders at a local school. Arriving at the beach, the couple were fortunate to be greeted not only by roaring crowds, but also a bit of sunshine. Earlier, despite the royal couple arriving 20 minutes late for their first engagement of the day, the crowd of around 5,000 showed no sign of dampening their enthusiasm, gripped by Megmania. They are accustomed to luxury cars and private planes. But Meghan and Harry appeared completely at ease as they took a tram to the beach with a group of excited schoolchildren. While the journey lasted less than 5 minutes, the youngsters managed to get in some pressing questions. Charlie Wolf, a 12-year-old student from Middle Park Primary School, asked if the couple had any names for their baby. The children said. Meghan replied with, "We've been given a long list of names from everyone. We're going to sit down and have a look at them." Ella Burns, a 12-year-old pupil from Albert Park Primary School, added, she said that she hadn't thought of one as it was still quite early. Meghan was also asked by Ella what she liked doing in her spare time. The Duchess replied that she didn't have much spare time, but when she does, she enjoys relaxing and watching TV shows. She faltered when asked what her favorite show was, and replied, "There's heaps. I can't think of a specific one." Meanwhile, Lola Mayerini's, 12, from Middle Park Primary School, sat near Harry. He asked what job she wanted to do, and she replied that she wanted to be a teacher. Harry told her, "There is always going to be one bad teacher that you remember. We need more good teachers." The Duchess of Sussex has been given plenty of flowers since she arrived in Australia. But today she was given her first tiara. It was presented by 6-year-old Annie, a pupil at Albert Park Primary School in Melbourne. Annie was one of 600 cheering children who greeted the Duke and Duchess as they came to see how the school is cutting waste and growing vegetables as part of a sustainability program. Harry spotted Annie, who was holding a bunch of flowers as well as a toy tiara, and knelt down and said, "Lily of the Valley, is that right?" Then, gesturing to Meghan, he said, "Are they for her?" The Duchess, who was wearing a dress by Club Monaco, came over and said, "Oh my goodness, thank you. Those are amazing." The couple met the school's waste warriors, dressed up in cape and masks, and met some sustainability leaders who showed them their nude food lunch boxes, without any plastic wrapping. At the school wormery, the Duke was invited to name their pet snail. "Speedy?" he suggested. At the vegetable patch, which included marigolds, peas, lettuce and alfalfa, Emma Cafferkey and Finn McLennigan, both 12, showed them how to mulch. The mulch is made out of sugar that has been shredded. You have to remember with the mulch not to put it on top of the plants. After they left, he said, "They said we were very well educated and that we knew a lot about this kind of stuff." As they left, one little boy told Harry, "You remind me of my uncle." The Duke replied, "Is that a good thing? Is it because I've got a ginger beard?" Foodie Meghan was in her element as she and Harry enjoyed a taste of Australia at Charcoal Lane, a social enterprise restaurant in Melbourne's trendy Fitzroy suburb. At a private lunch, the royal couple enjoyed a shared entree of mushroom and quinoa nest and char-grilled kangaroo and main courses of wild boar, saffron risotto and barramundi. It was prepared by young chefs being trained by the Mission Australia program, which assists young Indigenous Australians into employment, in many cases giving them a fresh start in life. Before the meal, they visited the kitchen, where Executive Chef Greg Hampton told the Duke and Duchess, "Welcome, we are so happy to have you here." Gesturing at the sparkling surfaces, Harry said, "You've got a very clean kitchen, Is it always this clean? Especially clean today? Meghan slipped off her Martin Grant trench coat in the warm room before Greg talked the couple through an array of unusual herbs and aromatic spices, getting them to smell and taste them. A lot of these ingredients have been here for thousands of years. Our fruits are the same as fruits thousands of years ago, he explained. Showing them a finger lime, he squeezed out the fleshy contents, explaining, "It comes out like caviar." "Oh my goodness, that's incredible," said the Duchess. But he warned the couple that the Tasmanian pepper came with a kick, adding, "I don't want to freak you out." Speaking ahead of their arrival, he had said, "I would hesitate to offer her, the pregnant Duchess, the pepper, because they are quite hot. The first time I tasted one I thought I was having an allergic reaction because the heat creeps up on you. I don't want to freak her out." Crushing a leaf of strawberry gum, a type of eucalyptus, he encouraged the royal visitors to smell it. "Is that what koalas eat in the bush?" asked the Duke. "Yes, but we can't eat it in the same way," replied Greg, explaining how oils from the plant are used to flavor marinades, fish dishes and even ice cream. The couple were presented with charcoal lane aprons for the touch, taste and smell experience, but did not wear them. Speaking ahead of the royal visit, Greg said, "We are here to support young Aboriginal people into the workforce, with a view that when they leave this place, there is going to be long-term employment for them," he said. "I'm not going to turn everyone that comes here into a chef, but if they leave here with a work ethic, it's a win for us." Charcoal Lane currently employs 23 young people for 15 hours a week as they work towards a certificate too in hospitality. A lot of them come from backgrounds where nobody has worked, so this is very important for them, said Greg. Program manager Troy Crellin said that in 10 years, the organization had helped some 250 Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders into work. The Duke and Duchess's visit to the restaurant began after they admired a mural outside created by Gunai and Wiradjuri man Robert Young to honor the building and the area's indigenous heritage. He told Harry and Meghan how his celebration dreaming artwork references Aboriginal identity, connections and culture in inner Melbourne Fitzroy. Before heading into the kitchen, they received a welcome to country delivered by Wurundjeri elder Uncle Colin Hunter. Mission Australia CEO James Toomey said, "It was such a fantastic and humbling surprise to hear that Mission Australia's restaurant, Charcoal Lane, was chosen to welcome the Duke and Duchess for a tour, hands-on cooking session and lunch. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the students to meet their Royal Highnesses. Not too many young people can say they've met and served royalty." The Duke and Duchess of Sussex were introduced to some of Melbourne's brightest and most innovative young people at a reception hosted by the Governor of Victoria, their first event of the day. The couple arrived at Government House for a Young Victorians Leaders reception approximately 25 minutes late after being stuck in traffic earlier that morning. But Harry and Meghan got straight to work when they were greeted by the Governor of Victoria, Linda Dessau, and her husband Anthony Curci, who took them inside for a private meeting. 10 minutes later the couple re-emerged and were escorted across Government House's west where they were able to see a display put on by Victoria's This Girl Can Empowerment campaign, which encourages everyday women to get active however, wherever and whenever they want without being judged. The couple were presented with a display of 150 women showcasing a number of activities, including netball, yoga, boxercise, cricket, cycling and Zumba. Meghan appeared to enjoy the fitness display, which was accompanied by high-energy soundtrack by DJ Yo Mafia, and was even convinced to throw an Australian Football League game ball. "I'm not sure I will be good," she nervously laughed as she delicately threw the ball to one of the women. "I'm not sure I did it right." Gerald Ritter, CEO of Vic Health who showed the Duchess around the event, said, "She was really impressed by the diversity of activity we had here today, and especially the sense of camaraderie between the women. She did pass an AFL football. She did a handball. That's a pretty incredible thing for anybody to do." She had not seen an AFL football before. Howard, the governor's husband, explained to her what it was like. "The weight of it is a little bit different, and that you handball it, you don't pass it." Sabrin Nyala, 20, a student teacher and This Girl Can ambassador originally from South Sudan, also spoke to the Duchess.